that create an issue to make sure it's billed correctly?
We just have to convert
It
it.
does, we just have to do the
Be
conversion.
a little more time.
So all the tickets are gonna come in
Tons.
as tons,
Mm-hmm.
and then somebody's gonna convert.
No, it'll come in as
Come in-
yards,
No,
and we'll convert it.
it comes in tons because they can weigh it with the loader. And then we have to convert it to yards because that's how it is in the computer.
But if we use, if we use the Watkins pit that we had crushed, that's still in the computer as yards.
All gravel in our system is
Is in
for
yards.
yards.
And so, and that's the only way. Well, all our loaders now have scales, so we can do both, but we have to do the conversion. That's what it comes down to.
So when the slips come in, they don't all come in the same way. Some are gonna be in tons,
They can't.
some are gonna be in
They go in
yards.
tons.
The slips from the loaders for gravel is gonna come in tons. And then when they get it put in the system, they gotta convert it to yards.
Correct. So the slips that come in from limestone, are they gonna come in tons?
Tons. You only can weigh in tons. Yards is a
Area.
Yards
area.
is volume.
I understand that. So all slips are gonna come in as tons, everything is weight.
And limestone always has been
Yes.
tons.
Okay. So if that's the way our tickets are, how come we don't convert our system to be the same instead of doing this conversion? Wouldn't that be simple?
That is in the process. I am working with Precision right now.
Okay,
And with it being year end and they
Okay.
do all the road commissions,
okay.
I haven't been able to get them to move
So-
faster.
Precision has to make those adjustments in the
Yes.
system.
And that's what I'm trying to get them to do
Okay.
instead of remaking all the new item number, remaking
Right.
everything.
Right. So there isn't a problem or confusion with these contracts, some of them being in tons and some of them being in yards.
No.
That's not gonna be a billing issue, it's not gonna be an overbilling issue or
This is how,
underbilling issue.
no, it should not.
The only issue is the understanding from the townships, and I think if we have to in the future, but hopefully it'll be done by then, we'll just put in there, if it's saying you can get 1,000 cubic yards of gravel, in parentheses, I'll just say 750 tons.
Okay, alright.
We'll put the conversion right there on the line.
It'd be good if you could put the conversion factors for the people that wanna do the math.
Alright, I just wanted to clarify that, so I appreciate that, thank you.
Any other questions or discussion on the motion to approve the contracts with these various townships?
I guess the other thing is a little confusing for me, the actual contracts will say total cost township share. So on here, the first one's the total cost and the second number's the township share?
Yeah, on the
Is
front
that-
page,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, on the front page, you'll
Okay.
see
Where it
that.
started.
that's
Right.
bottom.
The bottom numbers of township, the top numbers of road commission.
Oh, no, it's,
Left
No.
and right.
no, it's left and right,
Left,
yeah,
right.
yeah. Because the title's on that page, I missed that one. Estimated cost township share. So one's the limestone, one's the road stabilization. Okay, I'm glad I asked the question so I can, I know the contracts would be very specific, but when I'm looking at this, it's like, hey, what am I seeing? Okay, thank you.
Estimated cost.
Yeah.
And the contracts have the same,
Verbiage,
I think I got,
Yeah,
very helpful.
right.
where
We'll
it
sign
says,
the
has a
contract.
column for township
Yes.
cost, that's the only one they
Yeah,
did
yeah.
week in the circuit.
That's the one we gave them at the
Yeah.
township meeting,
Okay,
Okay,
right?
all in favor of the motion to approve the contracts with the township, say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The motion is approved. So we gotta take the time to sign those contracts now, or do we wanna move on and sign them after we close the meeting? What do you wanna do?
Up to you guys.
It could take you a little bit to sign them, if you wanna just
Yeah.
move on and sign them afterwards.
can I ask one more question on the
Sure.
contracts?
Go
On the
ahead.
reading Gilmore Road is, total contract of the ditch and deberm of 107,000, township share was 26,000. Is that a border road? Is that why? That's.
Yes.
that's, okay. Cause again, my quick
Yeah,
look at
we
50%,
only get one
that
fourth
wasn't
of the bill.
50%, so, alright. I just wanted to make sure of that, so that we were
If they
all-
would like to pay the entire thing, they can.
Okay, alright, I just wanted to reiterate,
Alan's not agreeing with that.
thank you,
That's why I'm here.
that's all, I'm sorry.
Okay, so then the next item of new business here on the agenda is, a recommendation to approve, 2023, certified mileage maps and authorize the chairman to sign the title sheet. And it appears like there are no changes.
There's no changes to the roads themselves for designation because they're either designated local or primary. So even if they were to change from gravel to paved, if it's a local, it's still a local. So the actual mileages didn't change on that. We did find a few, we have a spreadsheet that kind of goes along with that to help, figure out the mileages. That wasn't quite right, and so we're adjusting that spreadsheet, but it has nothing to do with the Act 51 certification. That's more of an internal, like when we asked the brine contractor to brine a certain township, that's gonna say how many miles of gravel or what is there.
I would make a motion that we, have the chairman sign the title sheets.
Or,
For the certified mileage.
Right.
Now with that real quick, and we left it, the chairman, so Bob Godfrey will need to sign that when he gets back, because he'll also get, this, the physical signature on that page that you got is kind of a, I don't wanna say for looks, but that's just the cover page on the Act 51 book that we have. He has to sign it electronically, they'll send it to him electronically, and he's gotta go in and sign it electronically, so to keep everything the same. So,
Fine with me.
you don't want to sign it? So, he'll sign the electronic, and that's what we'll submit to the state, and he'll also sign it, so that's the book that we'll have if people want a copy of it or whatever, that's what will be signed.
Did I get a support for that motion?
yes.
He did.
Okay.
So I do have a question, the first set of mileage of 1,197 miles, when we talk about the urban mileage from below, is that 30 miles included in that 1,100 miles? Or are those
I don't think-
separate?
No.
Okay,
Urban is separate from,
urban is separate, so in this urban mileage, would not be the city of Hillsdale, or
No.
Litchfield, or Jonesville, but it would be,
there are urban boundaries. It's not necessarily the village limits or the city limits. Every census changes those urban boundaries as to where everybody's living.
density of
Density
population.
of population. So the city limits don't change, but that density of population could expand out, which now puts more of the urban boundaries in our jurisdiction.
Okay,
If that makes sense.
okay,
And the most current one we're using is the 2020 census. And technically that isn't even included in here. This is still going off of the 2010 because they haven't caught up there yet.
right.
So a question, so there's, what about M99? Okay, this doesn't have anything to do with state highway anyway.
No, this is strictly ours.
Okay,
So Pittsford, would Pittsford be part of this 30 miles? Cause Pittsford isn't a city or a
I
village.
don't believe they're considered in that. There's a certain population and everything for urban boundaries.
Okay,
And
so it wouldn't necessarily be Pittsford or.
no, it's mainly around
Or
Jonesville and Hillsdale.
is Reading a separate city? Are their mileage?
I don't
Do
know
they-
if
are
there's
they-
any urban around them or not.
The city of Reading?
The city of Reading, are they like the city of Hillsdale or is that all county
Yes,
roads?
yes,
So
they're
they-
like,
okay.
they're a city.
They are a city, that's what I
Same
can
as
remember.
Jonesville.
Okay.
Most
You got
of
the
their
new GIS,
Pardon?
global, the
Yeah,
Hillsdale
yeah.
County GIS.
Yep,
I'm just playing with it right now, but they have all kinds of different road stuff on there now, so
Yep.
you might look at that.
alright. Alright,
So yeah, some of those cities that are, or villages that have their own Act 51 money could technically have some urban boundary around them. Usually the smaller ones don't much, cause they don't usually fluctuate that much. It's gonna be Hillsdale and Jonesville are the main ones that are gonna have your urban boundaries.
Alright, thank you.
Any other questions? All in favor of the motion to approve the certification mileage maps and authorize the chairman to sign the title sheet, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The motion is approved. Any other new business that needs to come before us? Okay. Any public comment here? Alan?
Alan Andrews, Reading Township. We had a very interesting meeting last November the 11th.
November the
I mean-
11th?
I'm thinking November for a reason, but right now, March the 11th. Anyhow,
That's Armistice Day.
we approved those two roads with the idea, so that Bob knows that next year we're gonna go for Abbott Road. And that's gonna take the township 2 years to pay for, so I'm just giving you a little heads up. And the biggest topic was Banker Road. I was hoping for an update, there was no update. Now, I'm gonna tell you guys what the people are saying. Don't get mad at me. They are not happy with the coal patch. They don't understand why a coal patch truck with two guys will go through Banker Road, and the guy says 75 potholes, they fill 50 of them and leave 25. And then a guy came up and said, Abbott Road, they drove up and down Abbott Road, they filled one pothole. I had to go out with the guy and ride so he could show me. So I'm just telling you what they're saying. Bob, in your report, you talked about doing the projects from last year. There's 3 projects in Reading Township. I'd like an update. The people wanna know when it's gonna get done. If you can just give me some kind of an idea. I keep telling them.
I can't give it to you right now,
Gravel
but
patch.
like I said, we're doing Genesee and Sterling right now, and as soon as those crews are done there, we're gonna move right through those that are still left from last year before we start anything from this year.
You're gonna still do all the gravel patch before you do those?
Yes,
Okay.
those were all, contracted and approved last year, so we need to get those done first before,
Okay.
I'll try to get you some times on that. Bankers Road, just so you know, yes, I understand that's blown out badly. That's right on the top of the priority list. We're gonna call it a paver patch, but there's really no place to start and stop there. So it's almost pretty much gonna be a 2-inch overlay for that entire stretch that's blown out.
But you won't be able to do that until,
As soon as the plants open up,
oh, you're gonna do that early.
we have to.
Okay.
That's,
Okay,
I can't see leaving that the way it is.
and that's a county road?
Yeah,
Primary.
And that's totally on us.
and it is heavily traveled.
And a 2-inch overlay will hold up on those holes?
Yeah. Yep. They'll have to go in and fill so that they can get compaction, so that there's somewhat of a level, don't have to be ideally level, but then when the paver goes through, it'll put 2 inches on top of all that.
Okay, and then is it gonna be seal coated,
That's the intent.
later?
I wanna say we were looking at about 10 miles worth of paver patch and about 30 miles worth of chip seal on the primary roads. We'll have to see where the township contracts come in to add on to that too.
So
And one of
how,
those will be the failed chip seal on Bacon.
so how many miles of bankers are you putting a 2-inch overlay on?
Is the plan to
I don't
go
have
from
it in front of me.
M49 west to the county line?
Pretty much.
It's at least 4 miles, isn't it,
It's
Alan?
That's a,
I'm just looking, I can't remember. It's,
It's 4 miles. It actually might be slightly more than 4
yeah,
miles.
it's over 4 miles.
I would say like 4.5 or 4.
Actually, that should be like 6 miles, because that's the whole width of the,
Not from,
no, it's not.
not from 49.
1, 2, 3, 4.5 miles.
Yeah, because of the curves around the lake there. If it was just, you know, a straight shot, it would be 4 miles, but it's more than 4 miles because of the curves.
So has that road been degrading?
It just blew apart this year. I mean,
Is there a reason a road does that?
being old, didn't get tacked probably when it was paved last time. There could be could be heavy traffic, it could be the freeze thaw.
In my opinion, you know, looking back on it, this is a road that in the last 2 or 3 years that at the very least should have been chip
It's probably
sealed.
been slowly,
Should have been chip sealed and fog sealed.
and then this year it
It
just came apart.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it wasn't just one spot, it was all over.
So if we're doing 4.5 miles of bankers, is that gonna be subtracted from the 10 miles of paper patch we wanted to do?
No, that's part of it.
That's part, yeah, so
Okay,
yes, it,
that was already
But
included.
what it is doing is we had a whole list, we still have a whole list of roads that need paver patching.
Correct.
And it's gonna take a bunch of those off to be able to
Do this.
do this for this year.
That's what I'm hearing.
And when it comes down to it, when we get down to brass tacks, we can get some better figures on where we stand at the end of the year budget. We can go in and start doing some more paver patching later in the year when we know where we stand. To hit some of the other roads that. Now, we kind of hit some of this again, bringing up a couple more things for me. The Bacon Road for the failed chip seal. We did talk to Asphalt Materials about 2 weeks ago, and they are going to, the first thing when we start doing chip seal, they're gonna give us the emulsion to redo that free of charge. Nobody can really say it was their emulsion or what there's a whole perfect storm of why it probably didn't work. But they're gonna give us emulsion to redo that road and our parking lot, cause we used the same stuff out here, and you see out there, none of that stuff is stuck either, so.
Yeah.
They're gonna give us all that free
good, good.
for the material anyway, we'll still have to do it, but.
Any other public comment?
Yeah, I'd like to speak a little bit. I've noticed last couple of years that chip seal has lost some of its quality level compared to what it used to be in the past throughout the county. You see bare spots here and there. I never noticed that a few years ago, so I don't know what's different. Maybe the stone's not clean enough or something, whatever. I'm just bringing awareness to that. And another thing, I live on Doty Road, so I'm aware of its deterioration. There's a section of the shoulder, a couple 100 foot long, that is dropped. It's a tire's width right at the edge of the pavement. It's probably 6 or 8 inches deep. And now some of the pavement's starting to break off because there's nothing supporting it. And they're getting big chunks of asphalt just busting off of that. That needs to be addressed before any more damage gets done.
You got a few of those.
Yeah, it's just south of Bear Lake Road.
South of Bear Lake?
Yeah, on the east side. About halfway in between there and, what's the next one, Ramsey? Roseville. Roseville Road, that's it. It's in between those two. That's a pretty deep section. I'm about having to trade, like some of the small cars, they went off of it, their tire went down that rut, their ball joints would probably hit the pavement and grind a little bit, cause it's straight down, it's that deep.
I'll add it.
All right. Good, I'm done.
Anybody else? No.
Yes, well, I didn't have anything for a second public comment, but since the manager, Bob Griffiths, brought up the grievances, like he was saying, the verbal step is only suggested, but we still do use it. I know we used it recently. If I heard him correctly, I think he said we quit using it, but we haven't. Also on the mediation, you know, either party can request mediation. And the union did request we stop using it because we never got anything solved at mediation. There is a waste of taxpayers' money. So that is the reason we didn't want to use it anymore. In last year, we figured, well, probably lawyer fees just for grievances costing the taxpayers, well, at least $50,000 or more. You know, I'm glad, I know, because Bob Griffiths also mentioned like Bacon Road back in the fall, it cost about $50,000 to redo that. the seal coat, so that's good to hear that they're gonna replace the emulsion, the asphalt materials, so that's one good thing, but, yeah, we're just seeing, I mean, it is a lot of waste of taxpayers' money, a lot of this, so. But, I wish we could discuss things more and try to work it out without the union and the lawyer. You know, it would be nice, but.
Any other public comment? Nick?
Yeah. Man. I lost it for a minute.
You're pretty young to be losing.
I know. Just totally off track. I was reading something and then, yeah. Hopefully the next board meeting, we'll have, we'll bring you the letter of intent to open up the negotiations. We'll hopefully have that for the board the next meeting.
Okay.
And kind of like Bacon Road to kind of, I don't know, step into these toes, kind of address that. Maybe why you see some of them driving past some of the holes and filling other ones is because maybe they were told to fill the larger ones, because when you're using cold patch on the better half of a 6-mile road, there's only so much cold patch, right? So that might be one of the
Do they only
reasons
get one truck load of full patch a day? Somebody.
No, they can get.
They have as much as they want to shovel.
Yeah, right. But I mean, we do have a limited supply and have to reorder more, so that might be some of what you're seeing. And I'm gonna check your numbers on those grades. They're a little funny. Because I don't.
Sit down with you anytime.
I know there's a lot.
If we settled 11 on them, the Lord has blessed us. Let me tell you. But anyway, that's all I got, guys. I'm sorry. I just wanted to let you know we're gonna hopefully have that letter for the next board meeting.
Okay. Doug, anything?
Nothing new
Okay,
at this time.
all right. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Support? Got a motion from Mark and a support from Mike to adjourn the meeting. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, no? We're adjourned.